Recently, Tiffany and I got invited to a wedding out in Poland, and we decided to make a trip out of it. The plan was to fly to Prague, spend a day there, then we'd make our way into Poland where the wedding would be, and after the wedding we would do some traveling around Poland. Now, I have to warn you, I tried something different in this video. It's more of a vlog style. Let's just say I'm still learning, and my microphone wasn't great, and I just got off a red-eye flight, so if I sound bored and unlistenable, just keep that in mind. Okay, we just arrived in Prague. That's where we'll be staying for tonight. Another thing is I tried using my real camera for this whole vlog, and let's just say I'm an idiot. I kept zooming in the whole time, and this clip and the next 10 clips I filmed in slow-mo with no audio, so you're just gonna get the voiceover instead. I'm learning. So if I still had audio here, you'd hear me talking about, oh, we have 24 hours in Prague, and we had some stuff we researched we wanted to check out, and so we're gonna go out and try and hit all the main spots we heard of. And the first thing we're gonna do is try and get some coffee. I had to leave this clip in. You can obviously tell Tiffany was killing it. She was talking to the camera. You should have heard it. If only I didn't mess up my audio. Okay, so we ended up at this place called Coffee Factory. We did the classic European coffee croissant situation. It was a little over the top though. I had ham and cheese on mine. Tiffany got scrambled eggs on hers. And it was really good. If you're ever in Prague, I would check this place out. Tiffany got a lavender latte on top of that too. And the last thing we got were these little traditional Czech pancakes. They're actually made with cottage cheese. You can taste the cottage cheese. And it has this little yogurt with the jam on it. Oh, it's so good. Okay, last muted clip before I realized my mistake. Imagine we're just talking about how we're gonna go to the famous Prague Astronomical Clock. And public transit in Prague is so good. You'll see all these streetcars and buses, and you have the metro, but everything is easily within walking distance, especially if you're staying in the old town and going to the touristy areas. So after coffee, we're just walking around. Here's this beautiful little church. It's called Ludmily Bazilika. Can't really pronounce it, but there's a cute little park in front. The tulips are in full bloom. We love to just wander around and see what we come across. This is one of those things. And here's another one of those things. We're still just kind of wandering around trying to get to the center of the old town area on our way to the astronomy clock, but everywhere you go is just so beautiful. There's stuff to see everywhere. This is Wenceslas Square, which is something we just stumbled across, but it reminds me of that place in Rome where I took my old Facebook profile picture, where you can kind of see out over the whole street. We made it to the astrology clock. It's very crowded. So this astronomical clock is supposed to be able to show you the location of the sun, the moon, all the constellations, some of the planets, which is a pretty miraculous thing to think about. It was built in the 1400s. We didn't know how to read it, but it doesn't really matter. You can just look at it and it's like a piece of art with all the intricate details. You see it's the middle of the day here and it's a very crowded. The classic X's where the people got executed. There's for sure a story behind this that we don't know. The story here is that there were 27 executions, but there's 28 X's. I looked into the story, but it's kind of a brutal one. I don't even know if I can say it on YouTube, so I'll leave that up to you to look it up. And even if you turn around from the famous astronomical clock, you see the church. I mean, this whole city is just so beautiful. All the architecture and the details.
Is it here?
So Tiffany got really excited for this bone church she saw online. Turns out it was a little further away for our one-day trip to Prague. We should have probably planned it a little bit beforehand.
So we just left the astronomy church, and now we are walking towards the Charles Bridge. Sadly, we did not time going to the astronomy clock or astrology clock at the right time, so we didn't see it. Astrology?
Astrology.
Astronomy clock at the right time to see it go off and like do its little
Charles Bridge. Okay, we thought we were on the right bridge.
Yeah, it turns out King's Charles Bridge is that bridge over there.
That bridge over there, clearly. The walk of shame.
Over to the right bridge.
That is the right bridge. This little beach is pretty scenic though. This stoplight is for an alley that fits one person at a time. It's long enough that you can't see the end if someone's coming. After many detours, we've made it to the correct bridge. All the main tourist attractions are extremely crowded at this time of day. Famous Czech dessert. I think it's for tourists, but we're gonna try it. Now this is a Trdelnik. You'll find them all over Prague. I watched a video and they said it's kind of a tourist thing, which is why you just heard me say that. And yeah, I won't spoil our review.
I got like too much in my hand.
Review? The famous
this is all just whipped cream.
Dessert.
Whipped cream isn't great.
Interesting.
The whipped cream almost kind of tastes like Greek yogurt. This Drusel's cool. Nah. I'd give it like a 4 out of 10.
Damn.
It's pretty disappointing, actually. What?
We finally made it to the famous Charles Bridge after many a detour. Tiffany goes for a pet on these dogs on this statue here. Apparently this looks like this because some college kids cleaned off the dogs just to make the tourists think everyone touches the dog. And so everyone has to touch the dog now.
Where are we heading to next?
What's next on the agenda? We saw the bridge, we saw the astronomy clock.
You know, seeing the running water, bathroom break. Whee!
You can go up there. It's like a paid activity. If you want to do that. So at this point we saw the Charles Bridge, we saw the astronomical clock, we walked around a bunch, saw the architecture. We're still jet lagged from our flights. We decided let's just head back to the hotel and try and find a place to eat.
Oh, they have the like fish foot massage. Oh, pigeon. Pigeon. Don't harass it. Leave the pigeon alone.
Just got back to the hotel, trying to charge up before we eat dinner. We saw a lot of Prague today. Last thing to decide is, do we want to eat traditional Czech food or play it safe? We played it safe. We ended up eating some Czech food in some of the later videos I'm gonna make, so check those out if you're interested in seeing what's traditional. But Tiffany found this restaurant she really wanted to go to, and it was through all these little passages that we saw in another video when we were researching Prague.
We have entered the Lucerna Passage, which is not only a...
It has a bunch of heavy stuff hanging from the ceiling, so that's why we found it kind of funny. We were talking about that other video we saw. So we ended up at a place called Beef Bar, where I got a pastrami sandwich and Tiffany got a hamburger. And I'll say the highlight of the pastrami sandwich was the mustard they used. It was so good. Also, the door on this place was kind of heavy and it fell on me and it crushed the holder that would hold my microphone to the camera. That does it for our trip to Prague. Just a brief little afternoon there. I think we saw the major tourist attractions, got an idea of what the city's like. Very walkable, great public transit, beautiful architecture. Definitely wish we had some more time. But in the next video, we're gonna be driving out to the middle of nowhere in Poland to go to a wedding at a castle. So if you made it that far and you want to see that, be sure to subscribe and I will see you next time. Peace.